Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the VinceMMA show. This is episode 5. UFC 324 was just yesterday. I have some thoughts about it. I want to break down most of the fights and just some other thoughts that I want to get off of my mind. Let's get right into Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. There's a lot that I have to say about this fight because, number one, I see that people are just discrediting Paddy Pimblett, saying he got fraud checked, saying he was never good. How can you watch this fight and you say that was a fraud check? Paddy Pimblett had a ton of success in this fight. He won. Okay, he was looking very good in the first round until he got dropped. There honestly was not many moments in this fight where he was just getting destroyed. It was just a competitive fight the entire time. There was definitely rounds that he lost and exchanges that he lost and moments that he lost. But there is just zero credit being given to Paddy Pimblett, and I don't agree with it at all. I think we should be giving him a ton of credit. He showed that he is one of the toughest fighters in the entire sport, in the entire UFC. He's getting cracked and he's surviving. He's getting dropped. He's getting okay. There was definitely a lot of, there was definitely a lot of holes in Paddy Pimblett's game. There's a lot of flaws that will be easily exploited by, for example, the current champion, for Arman Sarukian, from all of these guys. I mean, a lot of these guys in the division can easily exploit the holes that are in his game. I don't like the reputation that Paddy Pimblett now has. And the only reason is because he is hated by a lot of people, so they'll just never give him credit despite anything. Like, he can get this kind of win, he can win over this guy, he can have this kind of performance, and it's just never going to be good enough. Yeah, man, I really think that we should be giving Paddy Pimblett a lot of credit. I think he looked very good. I was very impressed. I don't know why he didn't grapple. I don't know where that came from. He said, and his team said, that they didn't even need to shoot any takedowns. And if you think I'm just going to shoot a takedown and submit him, that's not going to happen because I have my own game plan. And me and my coach, it was not a good idea, okay? It was not a good idea. And I think he knows that now. I think he was delusionally confident, which I think you should be at this at this stage in your career. When you're in the top 5 and you're fighting guys that are championship level, you need to be a little bit delusional. But I just think I'm so fucking sick and tired of people just hating on Paddy Pimblett because they don't like him, even though there's a lot of credit to give him for this performance. And on to Justin Gaethje now. I'm very happy for Justin Gaethje. Let me get that out of the way. I am very happy for Justin Gaethje for the fact that we now have an American champion. But at the end of the day, I don't think that we have seen a larger skill gap between the undisputed champion and the interim champion. Ilia Topuria would have knocked out Justin Gaethje in the first exchange, then fought Paddy Pimblett 10 minutes later and knocked him out in the first exchange, UFC 1 style. That's how much of a skill gap there is between those 2 and 3 guys. The only thing that I was thinking while I was watching this was, dude, Arman Sarukian and Ilia Topuria would fucking destroy all of these guys so easily. I said in my video that I just posted on my Instagram, I would consider betting my life that Ilia Topuria and Arman Sarukian would not see a second round against either one of those guys, and they would get them out of there within the first exchange or the first minute. And I truly believe that. I'm not 100% willing to say that because I still do value my life, but I would seriously consider betting all of the money that I have. I would consider betting my life that if Ilia Topuria and Arman Sarukian were to step into the ring with Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, they would not see a second round and they would be knocked the fuck out in 30 seconds or submitted in 30 seconds. Yeah, Justin Gaethje has some of the most blatant and obvious flaws. I don't know why Paddy Pimblett didn't take advantage of that. Every single fucking time. And this is not a new thing, by the way. So I don't know how you didn't pick this up when you're watching film, when you're doing tape study, when you're preparing for Justin Gaethje. I don't know how you don't see every single time he does this. Every single time, dipping his head. The fucking head kick is right there. The left hook is right. It's so right there. It's so blatant. I don't know how the fuck you missed that. Every single fucking time. He telegraphs the strikes. Boom. Every single fucking time. He throws the overhand. Boom. He's here. Every fucking time. How can you not Exploit it. How do you not see that pattern? How do you not watch film and see, hey, every single fucking time he loads up his right hand, he's here. He is here. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you are even a half-intelligent fighter, if you are an Ilia Topuria, if you're an Arman Sarukian, you are going to see that. You're going to fucking feint the left and you're going to throw a head kick and you're going to knock him the fuck out. It's so simple. It's right there. And he didn't just do it once. He didn't just do it after this exchange. He did it every single round. And if you watch in his corner said, stop dipping your head. Stop dipping your head. But that's just a habit that he has. He's 37 years old. He's been fighting for this long. He's not just going to suddenly stop doing that, okay? It's like one of those little idiosyncrasies that you're just not going to undo. It's not something that you can untrain, especially at this stage in your career. So that's how I know the next fight that Justin Gaethje has against Ilia Topuria, he's going to get knocked out because of that flaw that he has. Because of that fucking flaw, he's going to load up the right hand like he does. There's fucking Gaethje grunt, and he's right, and his head is right fucking here, and he's going to get knocked out. As simple as that. Still, shout out to Justin Gaethje, though. But, I mean, Justin Gaethje is like an 85 overall fighter at this stage of his career. I think his peak, he was maybe an 89 overall. Ilia Topuria is like a 95, 96 overall fighter. Arman Sarukian is about the same, 95, 96 overall. Justin Gaethje is like an 85, maybe an 86, I'll give it to him. Yeah, like he can just get so easily exploited. And I don't even want to take anything away from him, which I know I just ragged on the guy for about 6 minutes, and I know I just posted an Instagram video saying he's the worst interim champion, but there still was some skill that was displayed. So I still do want to give him his props and his congratulations, but I'm just going to say enjoy the interim belt while you can because you're not going to be holding on for it too long. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Very frustrating fight to watch. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people do agree with me. I think this was a robbery. I really do. Sean O'Malley did not do anything in round one. He's just darting around. He's feinting. He's darting out. He's just doing this the entire time. Maybe he'll throw a teep to the body. Maybe, I guess. And maybe he'll pop a jab and miss. And then he got taken down at the end of the first round. I thought Song Yadong won rounds 1 and 2. And what I don't understand is after the first round, Tim Welch was like, oh, beautiful, Suge. Beautiful, beautiful. No. Tim Welch needs to be fucking fired, and we have been saying this for so fucking long. He is the worst cornerman you can ever fucking imagine. You will be losing the fight on the scorecards. You'll be losing the fight on damage, on everything, and he'll still say, good, good. Oh, we need some movement. We need some movement. After round 2, he said, oh, Max Holloway style. We need some teeps. We need some stomps. No, the fuck you don't. You need to let your hands go. And then what did you do in the third round when you had success? You let your hands go. The first 2 rounds, you didn't fucking do anything. You're dancing around. You're fading in and out. You're bouncing in and out. Okay, it looks pretty, sure. And here's a teep to the fucking body. Here's a teep to the midsection. Nice. What's that doing? What is that doing? You're getting your legs beat the fuck up. You're getting jabbed up. You're doing nothing. And I like Sean O'Malley a lot. And I like Song Yadong. I'm a big Sean O'Malley fan. I wanted to see him win. I wanted to see him win in a much more decisive way. But I really think he needs to get new cornermen. Have Tim Welch just be the guy that helps him train. Keep him the fuck out of the corner. Keep him the fuck out of his corner. And keep all cornermen like that when they just give him shitty advice. You know what's good cornermen is Paddy Pimblett. Because they were saying, oh, dude, we need to finish here. It's round 5. You need to finish. You're down. And even then, even in the close rounds, like, oh, yeah, maybe you got it, but it could have gone to him. That's what you need. You don't need someone to say, oh, you're looking fucking great out there. You're looking amazing. When you're not doing nothing, you're not throwing. Yeah. I mean, maybe I need to rewatch the first round because, again, some people were so dead set, that's not a robbery at all. He easily won round 1. But also the vast majority of people were on my side and were also saying that was a robbery and he lost the first round. So I'm going to rewatch it. Probably should have done that before this video. But, yeah. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Also, hold on. Let me get this out the way. I did fucking amazing on picks. The only picks I got wrong was Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I picked Adam Fugit. I was kind of just like, you know what? This guy's 25. Adam Fugit's 36. He's been in there with the fucking best. So, experience. The guy's only 5-0, 6-0. Adam Fugit has the phenomenal record of 10-5. he can get him out of there with his fucking nasty 1-2. And okay, yeah, I don't know why I picked Adam Fugit. That was dumb. And then the other fight I got wrong was Charles Johnson. So I fucking swept these cards. I picked Justin Gaethje by decision. I picked Wilder by round 2 TKO. I picked Sean O'Malley by 29-28 decision, which I don't think happened, but officially on paper it did. Yeah, so Waldo Cortez Acosta, I was trying to tell you guys that Derek Lewis isn't good. I like Derek Lewis a lot. He's a funny dude. Everybody likes Derek Lewis. We all are fans of him. He's not good. He does the same exact fucking thing every time. He does the jump switch kick and he just telegraphs the fuck out of his he's gonna do this and then dude, why do so many of these fighters, when they're setting up a 1-2, or they're setting up a big shot, they'll have their rear hand like shaking, like what do you think they think you're gonna do? Like when I'm fighting somebody and I see them doing this with their fucking right hand, loading up their right hand, what the fuck do you think I'm gonna do? That's all Derek Lewis did was jump switch kick and then fucking lunge into the 2, and then miss and then trudge back into the pocket, and then go slow, and then do the same thing. Switch high kick. Oh, he misses because Wilder Cortez Acosta is kind of fast, and it's pretty easy to dodge that kick, and then okay, big overhand, and then trudge back into the pocket, and then do the same thing again. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I know Derek Lewis is 40, and I know that he's not a great fighter, but there were people who were saying that he deserves a title shot after he knocked out Talatan Teixeira, and people were saying, oh no, Derek Lewis he's that dude. After he gets this fight, he's going to fight for the belt next. What do we? Okay, the heavyweight division is bad. Is it that bad? And this is not me doing recency bias. This is not me, getting my pick wrong and then switching up, saying, "Oh no, you suck." No, I predicted it. I said this is exactly what's going to happen. Derek Lewis is so basic, and that's why he's gotten this far, and that's part of the reason why he's a fan favorite. But when your offense is as shitty as that, like you're not going to win fights against guys that are in the top 6. And also, Wilder Cortez Acosta, he didn't do shit either. He was on the defense the entire time, and then Derek Lewis just falls down and just gets TKO'd and sits on his knees for 60 seconds. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know if he tore his hamstring. I don't know if he tore his Achilles. I don't really know what happened, but yeah, that was strange. Yeah, by the way, Wilder Cortez Acosta is not off the hook either. He didn't do anything. He was just on the defense the whole time, and occasionally, very occasionally, he'd throw the big lounging 2 and miss. Not even really much to talk about for this fight. Wasn't that great. Arnold Allen, Gene Silva. I picked Gene Silva by round 3 TKO. I was kind of nervous because this was a pretty uncharacteristic fight for Gene Silva. In the first couple rounds, he did not look like his normal self. He wasn't shaking hands as much as he does. He wasn't showboating. He wasn't doing this with the crowd. He wasn't fucking high-fiving. He wasn't doing any of that, really. He was doing a little bit of it, but not like we've seen him do it in his last fights. And Arnold Allen was really busy in the beginning. He was very busy with the boxing. He was hiding that head kick really well, and he was throwing the head kick a lot. I liked that a lot. Really good game plan for Arnold Allen. Gene Silva was countering well, but he wasn't really leading the song and dance. He was kind of on the defense, and he was throwing counter punches. But then, yeah, this is a pretty decent fight. It was one of the more underwhelming Gene Silva fights. The Melsik Bagdasarian fight, the Bryce Mitchell fight, the Drew Dober fight, all of them were more entertaining than this. It was still a good performance, and it was still pretty impressive. I still think, I never got off the Gene Silva hype train. Even after he got TKO'd by Diego Lopez, I said, no, dude, like he still looked really good in that fight. This guy will be a problem. Do mark my words. He's going to be very good in this division. I don't want anybody to jump off the train. He's going to be very good. I'm telling you, just wait and see. He's going to beat Arnold Allen. He's going to TKO him. And he had a lot of success. He almost finished him at the end of the second round. And he had a lot of big moments as the fight got on. He got much better as the fight went on, which I did like. This is the first time that we've seen him go to a decision in the UFC outside of the Contender Series with Kevin Vallejos. Really fun scrap. Very, very fun scrap. The main card of this was cool. The prelims, I think, were much better. A lot more finishes on the prelims. In the main card, you had Rose Namajunas, who kind of got robbed a little bit. You had Sean O'Malley, who kind of got robbed in a pretty underwhelming fight. And yeah, the main event was fire, and Gene Silva was pretty fire, but the other fights were not that mega. I mean, I'm not going to rewatch them unless I'm making picks for the next time they fight. I have no desire to watch these fights again. Umar versus Davis and Figueiredo. Davis and Figueiredo does this a lot, where he'll do nothing, and as a result of doing nothing, he'll have no success, and then he decides, you know what, I'm gonna not do nothing. I'm gonna start throwing, and then he has some success, and then he starts to think to himself, hey, I'm having success when I'm throwing something versus throwing nothing. Maybe I'll start throwing something, and then he reverts away from that and doesn't do it. So round one does nothing. Just no punches. He's not throwing any combinations. Just looking like shit. Round two, starts to have success. He lands a couple shots, nothing crazy, but has some success. And then round three, just abandons the activity. I don't really know why, but he just does. Umar, it was a very good performance by him, but it's going to be very hard to sell a title shot with that performance. It was pretty dominant. It was very clear 30-27, but yeah, there was just not much excitement at all. Again, it was very clear and decisive, but we've seen way better Umar Nurmagomedov fights. He looked way better and way more entertaining against Merab, against Jaime Barcelos, against what's his name? Against Mario Bautista. Like, if you give Umar a guy who will, put on a fight and really take it to him, then he'll match that. But if you give him a guy like Davis and Figueiredo, who's 38 years old, low volume, doesn't throw as much, is pretty injury prone, he's kind of slow now, doesn't do much, he's just going to see that and then just fight smart. And that's not even really his fault. Like, that's not even a bad thing. But if you want to sell a title shot with that victory, you're not going to. But still a good win for him. So shout out to him. Atiba Gauthier, I said this on Three Punch Convo. This was much better that this kind of fight happened to him so early in his career. Because imagine if he KO'd Andre Puliev, and then they gave him a Marvin Vettori, and then he KO'd a Marvin Vettori, and then they gave him a guy in the top three, and then he had a performance like this. Then that would be much worse. Then everyone would say, oh, he was never good. He was a KO merchant. He's a power merchant. It's good that despite, looking very good early on against Andre Puliev, like, it's kind of good that this happened because he got tested here. Andre Puliev is tough as fucking nails, so shout out to him. He was taking everything. Like, the very first punch of the fight, he got sent flying across the canvas. The first punch that got thrown, he got sent flying. And there was many other times where he was just getting fucking battered. He'd get fucking clipped with the right hand. He'd be so off balance. He'd be fucking trudging along, but he still would have his wits about him, and he would still be throwing head kicks, and he would still be throwing body kicks and leg kicks. Yeah, again, I don't think anybody should hop off the Atiba Gauthier train. I think a fight like this was very good to happen at this stage of his career. He's 23 years old. I'm not going to jump off the Atiba Gauthier train. He still, yeah, he didn't look great in round 2 and 3. I mean, there's no matter what way you skin it, he did not look good in round 2 or 3. All he was doing is honestly what I also said this on Three Punch Convo. He looked a lot like Alexander Topuria in his last fight against Begzad Elmakhan, where he's kind of he's stalking you, he's going forward, he's stalking you, and he's going to throw the big shot, and maybe he'll land it, maybe he won't, but he's not going to try to set it up. He's not going to jab to the body. He's not going to try to disguise any kicks behind it. No, he knows, and he's telling you exactly what he's going to do. He's going to hunt you down. He's going to stalk you, and he's going to look for that too. If you give him a guy who can move laterally, who is long and rangy, who will use his kicks to his benefit, like an Andre Puliev, but better, I think that would be a person that would pretty easily beat Atiba Gauthier at this time in his career. But again, he's 23 years old. It's very good that this happened so early on, because every single fighter has a performance like this. There's very few fighters that just walk through people and dominate people. Like, there's always going to be one performance where, okay, he looked good, and yeah, maybe he got the win, but some eyebrows were raised, and there was some questions that we definitely have after watching this, and that was a performance like that. So don't jump off the Atiba Gauthier train. I still think he's a very good fighter. There's a lot to improve, and there's a lot of time to improve because he's 23 years old. Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov, I held on to this identity of Nikita Krylov as this super dangerous light heavyweight who's still capable to be in the top 5, who is still super dangerous and pretty well-rounded, and he's got some okay submissions, but he's got big power, and he can beat anybody, but he just got cracked the past couple fights, and he's a little bit chinny, and he was inactive for a long time because of his injuries. I'm going to take that away now. I'm going to walk back that statement. I don't think Nikita Krylov is that amazing. I think he's a dude who will be a fringe top 10 to 15 guy. I think Jan Blachowicz right now beats him. I know Jan Blachowicz already did beat him, but I think current Jan Blachowicz easily beats him. I think there's a lot of guys in the division. I think Jamal Hill beats him. He's just he's so basic. He's so risky. Like a lot of his combinations, chin was right up in the air. He was getting clipped a lot, which is kind of concerning considering the last 2 fights. Yeah, got chinned really badly. You would think that those would be some adjustments that you would have made, but he didn't. I'm still very happy for him. He got a buzzer beater KO. I had it 1-1 going into round 3. I want to say it was round 1 I gave to Modestas Bukauskas. I think it was round 1. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think it was round 1. Yeah, Nikita Krylov, there's still a lot that he has to improve on. I want to say he's still pretty young, though. Like, he is... How old is Nikita Krylov? He's only 33. He's turning 34 in a couple months, which is very young. He's got a lot of miles on the clock. Like, he has 42 fights. But, I mean, that's still pretty young. Like, you can go really far in the heavier weight classes when you're at a higher age. Yeah, Nikita Krylov does need to make some adjustments. Maybe switch camps. I don't know. I've been saying guys like Alexander Rakic need to switch camps. Krylov probably should. I mean, I don't know. Hasn't looked really impressive at all in the last 3 fights. The last 2 he got chinned very early on. And this fight, I don't know. I just didn't see much from him. Maybe I just had too high expectations for him. Maybe I just saw Nikita Krylov as this guy who just got unlucky a couple times. They got chinned, but in reality, he's really fucking good, and he could be, a top 3, top 4 guy, and maybe with some adjustments, and maybe with this, maybe he can even be the number 1 contender, and maybe he can even earn a title shot with a win streak. But nah, I think that was me just thinking too highly of him. So, Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson, one of the 2 fights I got wrong. Yeah, this is tough to watch. I mean, I was told by somebody who has insider information that you should put money on Alex Perez. I didn't want to, though. I've always felt very confident in Charles Johnson. I feel like our Charles Johnson is very underrated despite a lot of his very excellent wins. Like, I know we all know him for the Joshua Van win, which has aged tremendously, but the Lona Kavanaugh win is amazing. There's a lot of wins that he has, which are really impressive. Like, he is kind of a prospect killer in his own right. And he is still very good. Like, he's got good movement. He's got good leg kicks. He's kind of hard to game plan for because he's super bouncy and he's super quick and he's got really good movement and he's got sneaky power. So I was thinking, Alex Perez has some good power and he's solid, but I don't know. Alex Perez is so risky. Like, the way he darts in and throws these multiple punch combinations, like, it's really risky. And if you give him a guy like Joshua Van will easily counterpunch him and KO him. I think Pantoja would do it. I think Steve Erceg would do it. I think there's so many guys that I think could easily take advantage of Alex Perez's reckless striking. And I thought Charles Johnson was one of those. But boy, was I fucking wrong. Charles Johnson was getting embarrassed. He got clipped a lot of times. People were saying it was an early stoppage. No, dude. I mean, honestly, I think it could have got stopped earlier, if I'm being honest with you. He was just getting clipped, and he was just fucking all over the place. He was on jelly legs. Honestly, I'm surprised he lasted that long. Because there was one time where he got dropped, and he got back up. And I was just shocked that he was still eating these shots, and he still had his wits about him. He still was defending intelligently. Like, I was pretty fucking shocked. Because he did get flash KO'd the first time he got dropped. Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. I don't know why you would have picked Denzel Freeman. If you watch his last fight, he looked like fucking shit. Josh Hokett is genuinely a good heavyweight. Like, he has really good knees to the body. He has great takedowns. He's really patient. He has good back control. But let me just get this out the way. He's fucking lame. You cannot be above the age of 13 and watch a Josh Hokett interview and be entertained. If you think what he does is funny, you're a fucking child. And I'm sorry to say that, but I'm sorry if I offend you saying that. You have the sense of humor of a fucking child. He's just copying Chael Sonnen word for word. Walter Cortez Acosta, you absolutely suck. Oh, blah, blah. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, it's fucking annoying. I get, and to be fair, maybe I should say good on him for at least trying to sell a fight and trying to be funny and trying to be the guy that plays a character, but you just do it poorly. Like, Chael Sonnen could effortlessly play a character. And the thing is, you knew Chael Sonnen was playing a character, but he was so encapsulating with the way he did it that he would make you pay attention. You wouldn't just watch him and be like, okay, you're a fucking loser. You're fucking annoying. You know, Josh Hokett is just he's like Colby Covington, but way worse. He's like Colby Covington now. Because Colby Covington was always really fucking annoying back in the day. And you knew he was playing a character, but nowadays he's lost all of his relevancy. So now he tries to play a character even more, and he's even more extreme about it. And now everybody is just fed up with him and like, bro, like Colby, you're a fucking loser. That's how I see Josh Hokett. Then he went in that post-fight press conference interview. Him and his fucking boy, I don't know if it was cornerman or his friend. I don't know what the fuck that was. They were doing some weird Randy Savage type promo. Maybe he's for the WWE guys. You know, I was never a WWE fan. It was always on in my house, but when I was growing up, like when I was real young, I just always thought it was so fucking annoying. I never got behind it. Maybe I had to have grown up watching WWE to find this funny, but like in all honesty, it's like 12-year-old humor. Like I watched this and I'm like, okay, like this is fucking cringe. Like, what are you doing? You're a fucking grown man doing this. But okay, again, take that all aside. Josh Hogan is actually a really good heavyweight, and I think he can be in the top 10 to 15 for sure. And then Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit, the first fight of the card. You know, there was some debacle from what do you call it? Sorry, it's been a long day. There was some debacle from Bruce Buffer with the introductions. He introduced Adam Fugit as Ty Miller and Ty Miller as Adam Fugit. But yeah, Adam Fugit really didn't do anything at all. He was just getting fucking battered this entire fight. But then he had a spinning elbow and clipped him like on his hairline area. But Ty Miller was looking really good. He was looking pretty patient. He knew that he had him hurt a couple times, and he knew that he clipped him, and he knew that he could get him out of there, but he was really patient about it. And he kind of got frustrated after he got hit with that spinning elbow, but eventually he just got him out of there, dropped him bad. I also heard this was an early stoppage. What are you talking about, bro? What more do you need to see? Like, there was no fucking way that Adam Fugit was going to survive this. So shout out to Ty Miller, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, I believe. That was his first UFC fight, UFC debut on the first Paramount card, the first fight of the first Paramount card. In your first UFC fight, there's definitely a lot of pressure for that. So he definitely showed out. So congratulations to him. That is all I have to say for UFC 324. It was a pretty good event. I'd give it a 6.8 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. You know, the main card could have been a little bit more entertaining, but prelims were pretty fun. Of course, a lot of things were out of their control. A lot of fights were fucked. Like Amanda Nunes, her fight got canceled. You had the Alexander Hernandez versus Michael Johnson fight get canceled due to suspicious betting lines. I'm really, really eager to see what comes out with that because a lot of people were saying that Alexander Hernandez was injured. So I hope that that's the case. I hope that somehow, some way, people found out that it was an injury and then the betting lines got completely shifted. I hope it wasn't some insider information and it was some bullshit like the Yadir Del Valle fight versus Isaac Bulgarian. I hope it was not a situation like that because, God forbid, I do not want to see the integrity of the UFC get compromised and then everybody is just thinking, oh, this fight was rigged because of this. And, oh, he fought like shit here. Oh, it must have been he threw the fight. Like, I just do not want that to happen at all. So I truly hope that it was just news got out that he was injured and then everybody was like, oh shit, put the house on fucking Michael Johnson. Then you had the Cameron Smotherman situation where he cut weight and passed out on the scale, which was like really scary. Like I've seen 1,000 fighters get knocked out cold, choked out cold, legs broken, arms broken, slammed on the head. But for some reason that just really shook me when I saw that. Like my heart kind of did skip a beat when I saw that. That was just really concerning to see. And it's even more confusing because he said that he doesn't cut a lot of weight. So I am pretty curious to see what the cause for that was. I mean, obviously, if he didn't cut weight, that probably would have happened. But if he says himself that he doesn't cut a lot of weight, then it's pretty interesting how that happens. I don't know what he considers a lot of weight, because maybe he considers, oh, I'm only cutting 14 pounds. That's not that much, but in reality, it is a lot. Or maybe he is telling the truth and, oh, yeah, he only cuts 4 or 5 pounds. So we'll never know. But I hope that he ends up being okay, and I hope that get to see him again. I don't know if he's going to make a weight class change. Maybe he should, but yeah, I hope he's good, and I hope any test result that he gets back is positive, and I'm praying for him. So, very fun fight card. Next week, you got UFC 325. It's only a matter of time before my boy Volkanovski loses, which is just so devastating. I do not want to see that happen, but it's just inevitable. I've been saying this, and I'm going to maintain this opinion. He's going to lose. I don't want him to, but it's just going to happen. So, thank you very much for watching. Follow me on Instagram at VinceMMA1. Leave a like on this video. Leave a comment. Go to 3punchconvo.com. It is a website and discussion forum for strictly MMA-based discussions. You can use it for free, or you can pay $4.99 a month, or you can use my code VinceMMA to get a free first month. You can cancel it anytime. There's no contracts. There's no hidden fees. There's no nothing. You can check it out for free. If you like the website, consider using my code. If you don't want to use my code, don't want to pay for it, totally fine as well. But yeah, I will make a fight prediction video. Look out for another VinceMMA podcast episode about UFC 325 in the next few days. So thank you very much for watching.